Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long boys blues, 1975. Using girls on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long boys blues, 1975.
Hey YouTube, Lawnboys Post 1975, and welcome back to another ZX Spectrum versus Commodore 64 video. Something a little bit different, something somewhat a little bit more impressive, or more realistic I should say. A 3D driving simulator. This is Stunt Car Racer. I'm going to compare, as I said, on the Spectrum, the 48K version. It was released in 1989 by Microprose, but it was released on a different label of theirs. I think it was released in the UK by Microstyle and in the US by Microplay. Now, in the UK it was Stunt Car Racer, in the US it was Stunt Track Racer. Now, this is a really impressive game. It's wireframe. You know, the Spectrum and the Commodore certainly weren't known for their 3D graphics back in the day. So this, I mean, this came out on everything. This came out on all the usual suspects: Amstrad, Atari ST, Amiga, Commodore, Spectrum, and MS-DOS. It's funny, isn't it? But back in the day, the Amiga and the Atari ST kicked the ass of MS-DOS. Anyway, so you race around a raised track. You've got a car and you've got a turbo button, and basically you go over jumps and stuff like that, and you have to, well, you can practice, but you have to beat an opponent. The harder you land from the jumps, or the more sort of abuse that your car takes, then you will see signs of damage appear around the screen, because obviously it's a first person driving game. Now this is really like impressive on the ZX Spectrum and the Commodore, and that's why I wanted to compare them, because I think these are pretty much on par with each other. Yes, I'm biased, but as always, that's why I'm here, to compare them and see what you think. Probably going to change the name of these videos officially to Playground Wars, by the way, and again, it's a comparison video. It's just going to be these two machines, because these were the two machines that always went at it for a war in my playgrounds. Right, so one, default keys. Come on, it's 1989 and you won't let me define the keys. Oh no, for user defined keys, stick. Stick? Does that mean you use the both? Bollocks. We're going to go with, so O left, P right, S up, well, accelerate, X, brake, and M, which is turbo. So let's go with one. We'll have to play it on joystick on the Commodore, but I could, in its defense, play it joystick on the Spectrum. But where I can, I always play with keys, because keys are for champions. Press fire to continue, right, or brake to choose again, right. So here we go. Name, Tits McGee. Right, so hang on, I forgot the keys again. SXOPM. Right, so draw, bridge, jump. I'm assuming I press 1, 2, 3, or 4. Right, is there no practice? Was there a practice? I can't remember. Let's go with the ski jump. Press fire. Oh, you can practice. Start the racing season. We're going to go with start the racing season. Right, Jumping Jack versus Tits McGee. Oh, I'm excited. Are you excited? Right, now 1989, there should have been a 128K version of this, because obviously limitations of the Spectrum 48K will be sound, but this game kind of drops the ball in that department even more than it should do. Right, here we go. Right, so the little ramp, steer to rotate, view, fire to continue, so you can rotate, it redraws it, but you know, it's 3D. As I said, you know, the only other sort of 3D driving game, well, the only other true 3D driving game on the Spectrum, period, is race hard driving, which is, I like it simply because it's hard driving, but I've got a gameplay of it. Yeah, you know, it tests your patience, but it's 3D. Right, so there you go. You've seen enough of the little ramp. Right, so fire to continue. Now, here we go. Monochromic, that red thing around, see that's my, you can see my steering wheel, you can see my speedo. Now I'm on chains, I'm being lifted onto the track because it's a raised track. It's monochromic, the background, you know, or sort of sky is done with that sort of dotted ditherd effect, but drop start, this is what I mean, 48K, you could do better sound than this. I think this is drop, there we go, a bit crap, but graphically, there's my opponent, press fire, that's my turbo, you can see the turbos come bolting out of the pipes on my bonnet, but look, Now, is it polygon? No. Is it vector graphics? Certainly. So it's true, you know, 3D. But again, it's monochromic. But hey, it's a Spectrum. Play to your strengths. Now, ooh, stay on the track. You fall off the track, you take damage. Ooh, shit, and then you have to be lifted back on. Like that. That was a bit poor. Nice smoke effect. Again, monochromic or not, everything about this game is awesome balls. I won't catch up with him now. I simply won't. But look at the way the track moves. If I don't balls up, I will get some speed on. Hold down fire to drop. So you will start to see it shift. It does take a little bit getting used to the controls because you do kind of get used to perspective. But that is the same on the Commodore, to be fair. And even on the Amiga, and I have a control of the Amiga. Use turbo. There you can see. Does that mean there's an overheat? It's been ages since I played this. Now this got all kinds of awards back in the day and was praised for its, oh, this is going to hurt 3D graphics. See that top left of the screen, just top left of my windscreen? That's damage to, well, not the chassis, but the overall, I don't know, body of the car. Right. Right, there's a time bottom right. Yoink! There are various tracks. It was a, oh, I'm still on. I jumped. I'm still on. It was a multi-loader, side 1 and side 2, but that's all. So, you know, it wasn't a ball buster, but again, that could have been removed with the 128K. I don't know, maybe it was the limits of the development or the money they had involved, but there's no denying, even for a 48K game, this is fantastic. Because, while you could argue there's more scenery in hard driving, if you compare this to hard driving, this moves at a rate of pace. Hard driving does not. But this video is not about hard driving. Although I will pointedly say, for the purpose of Playground Wars, hard driving on the Spectrum is slow and clumsy as it is. Shites all over the Commodore 64 version. Tell me I'm not wrong, Commodore kids. Tell me I'm not wrong. Right. There we go. Yoink. Stay on. Stay on. Shite. And he's off the track again. Balls. Right, hang on. You've got to wait to be picked up. Is there a certain number of times you can be picked up? And look, you can see the damage in the... Oh, swing. Press fire to be dropped over the track. But you can see the damage spreading in the body of my car. Or my windscreen, I should say. Right, turbos. Is there a limit to your turbos? I see a time. It's ticking up and not down. But, yeah. So, like I said, this to me, again, I'm a Spectrum kid. It's really, really damn impressive. And proof that you don't need colour. Sometimes. All the time. Right. Let's see if I can just make it around the track. Brake a bit. Right. Oh, look! Just see that? More damage. Just, you know, the harsh impact. And he's... Oh, I don't know. Am I on? Am I off? I'm off. The harsh impact on your shocks is what damages the structure is the word I'm looking for of your car. Pick me up, pick me up. There we go. Is there, I don't know, because it's Stunt Car Racer and you race on an elevated track, is there like a form of motorsport where you do race on an elevated track with no sides? Obviously you couldn't now because the pussy with PC and Health and Safety Brigade, but back then in the 80s you could do anything you wanted to because men were men. And health and safety didn't exist. Glorious times. Yoink! See, you can recover it. I'm just getting used to the controls. They are nice and they are tight, but you can recover it and get back on the track if you're not too far gone off the sides. Right. Maybe I'll brake. Maybe I won't. It's the 80s. Refer to previous comment about health and safety. Yeah. Oh, let's fucking gun it over this. Again, I know I see through vintage nostalgia goggles, but this to me is still impressive. It really is. I mean, if you look at the limited 3D, you've got on even the, you know, the 8-bit race lost, the 8-bit consoles. This is something else. Right. Well, there you go. We lost the race, but we've raced up the whole race. That kind of got away from me. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look at the Commodore 64 version. Okay, so here we go, Stunt Car Racer. So obviously same game, same company. I'll learn to talk in a minute, but on the Commodore 64, single player league. Right, let's get into it. So obviously it's going to be slightly more blocky, less defined, but have colour and better sound. But again, Spectrum could do better than what was there. Right, single player, name, Bulls, Muck, Tat. Yeah. And stuff. Right, so drawbridge, obviously these are divisions. Well, I think it was just a single load on this, which, you know, kind of makes sense because it was Commodore 64. More memory, select, practice, Hall of Fame, start the racing season. We're going to go with start the racing season because we want to kind of replicate what we just did on ZX Spectrum. Now, track the little ramp, race 3 of 6, jump, Jack vs. Bulls McTact. I am the naming god. Right, so the little ramp, steer to... So now obviously it draws in a lot quicker, which you would expect because it's, you know, 64K. But, I mean, it's coloured, but it doesn't make it necessarily look any better because it's turd brown. But that is cool, man. I do really like that. Right, fire again. Fire to continue. So, obviously, we have colour. We, at this point, have a pretty similar, you know, car noise, but you press accelerate. Sounds like the bloke from Police Academy. Now, slightly, I don't know if I would say slightly quicker or smoother, but you got hold fire down. There we go. You got, you know, a sky, but it's just blue, you know, and the fact that it's, so you can argue that the Spectrum is completely monochromic. This, well, to some degree pretty much is as well. Your car's got some colour on it, but it's not as defined as the Spectrum. I would probably say it's a bit faster. Oh, you actually get to see the car. The car pretty much is the same as it is on the Spectrum. Yoink, right? He could fly. Oh, damage? Is that damage yet? I don't know. You've got your windscreen around the top of the screen as well. I would say this is quicker. Maybe when I was saying they're on par, I was being a little bit eager. But hey, I can admit my faults. This is what these comparison videos are about. There's no denying that Spectrum isn't impressive. Yeah, this definitely goes at a rate of knots. It looks like as well that your track, not on these sort of corners, is a little bit higher, well, not stationed off the floor, but not as drawn as close to it, you know, from a gaming perspective, not as close to the floor as it was on the Spectrum. But we came off. That's, I kind of guess, where the horizon is, you know, the word I'm looking for is kind of useful. But yeah, I mean, it's not monochromic, but I'm not going to lie, that colour, while like the blue and the turd brown, they do a good, you know, they separate out, so you do get the feel of the horizon. The turd brown is not a good colour, and obviously it's got to put the white onto the track to kind of, I don't know, show it up from the background. Again, these are just thoughts coming off my tongue because I'm in a fucking stunt car and going like a mad bastard. But yeah, this is fast. This is well fast. Maybe they should have done a 128K Spectrum version, or maybe that's not how vector graphics get thrown around in these things. Remember to brake, Dave, like you do in real life. Yoink. Am I was holding down turbo, no, I forget that because I'm doing it on joystick, I have to press forward. That's where keys are better on driving games and stuff like that. Oh. Yes, damage is creeping in on the top. I'm taking it goes all the way around the screen eventually then. But damage is creeping in around the top. This is well impressive. Yep, when I said they're pretty much on par, they're both very impressive, you know, technical achievements on the hardware. Probably particularly more so the Spectrum because it's only 48K. I will say this, even though this is Commodore 64 version and it's got better sound than the Spectrum, for a Commodore though, certainly not a very good use of the SID chip. But yeah, but this one, yeah, this one wins. Pains me to say that. Is that the finish line? I don't know. Yeah, this has got it. No, it's not. But it might be because I'm going so much faster. Right. Oh! God, it gets twitchy as fuck when you go flat out. Now, is there some sort of... I don't want to look at the bottom of the screen. Some sort of impact or impending doom or danger for me holding down the turbo like this and going batshit crazy. Let's see if we can really prang our shocks. Yeah, look at that. Oh... That bouncing effect, that's just good on both versions. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm out of gas. I'm out of turbo gas, I should say, or turbos. Look at my little wheels going mental. Yoink! Now, this is obviously really... Oh, you can see the gap for the jump. This is really impressive on the Amiga. But, this is amazing on the Commodore 64. Pick me up. Pick me up. Take me in your loving arms. Oh, shit, look at the damage go. I'm bouncing around like a... Holy fuck. Look at the damage go across the top of the screen. Right. Is it going to... Race lost. I was going to say because it can't put me back on the track, can it? Oh no, I got back up. Okay, that's really cool. But it's game over. Right, well, there you go. I think it's safe to say I can admit when I am the wrong man. As I said, it's graphically very, very impressive on ZX Spectrum. It really is. I prefer how sharper it is, especially the way the track is, even though there's no real separation between the sort of horizon and the track. But there's no denying that the Commodore 64 version absolutely goes like a fucking goat on acid. Absolutely gallops, you know, its rockers off. So yeah, Commodore 64 versus ZX Spectrum. I think it's safe to say that Stunt Car Racer on the Commodore 64 has it in this video, but there's no denying that the ZX Spectrum version is a very, very, very impressive port of the game. As always, if you had either of these versions, neither of these versions, or any of the other versions, I would love to know what you think. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.